You just discovered what it takes to become a legend. Grab your eye. Let's mobilize.
How's it going, everyone? Handle is TML, and today we're actually going to be looking at a couple of new areas. Well, not new, but that have only recently been appearing online from what I can see. Not too many people have been talking about them. They're out of bounds, so we'll be using WeMod again to get out of the boundaries that would usually stop us from getting to this area. Over here we have, I want to give a shout out to Pinguino, I believe his name is, the YouTuber that actually uploaded the first video that I saw. People are calling it a casino, but it could be that. I don't know. From the looks of it, it looks like more of a kind of resort style type building, not completely finished, as you can tell from the unrendered textures. And a lot of times in a couple of areas I found, like over there where the Arasaka spaceships are, they look like they're poorly rendered. One of them I believe it actually is, but if you go up to another one, if you get close enough to it, you can it's fully rendered underneath like this layer of just poor rendering. I don't know what that's all about. I guess just to maybe hide certain details from far away. I have no idea. And here I'm trying to get under the building. Just that's like my immediate thought process, especially after finding that school. I instantly go under these locations to try to see if there's ways to get inside of them, and as you can see from here, it's pretty empty inside. There's nothing really going on here. It's just the building itself. And one of the interesting things that I like about it is if you look around the surrounding area, it's actually, there's like a wall. Well, it's literally a wall that you can't pass or really even make it to, and the wall is lined with a lot of trees there. I think that was supposed to be a pool. Well, it is a pool, but it doesn't have anything under it, so I just kind of clipped through there. And I was only able to access this using infinite jumps. Again, shout out to WeMod, because that's what I've been using to find a lot of these areas beyond the border. And it's actually kind of funny, because if you look on the map, this building appears on the map. And I guess it's so close to the other areas that it doesn't really stick out as suspicious, because that was one of my first ideas, just look around the map and see if I could find any little red dots that were kind of far out and by themselves. And this is like that, but it's so close to the other mansions that I honestly just assumed it was another house. And maybe it is that. I don't really know how well you can see it from the map without using some sort of mods or enhancements to be able to get over here. But I don't think it's actually very visible. And here you can see with the wall of trees that surrounds it. And it's really unfinished underneath, and a lot of people are speculating that maybe this will be an area that we can access in the future, or, well, really that's pretty much all I'm seeing everybody say. It could again be cut content, that's always a possibility, or it could just be there for aesthetic purposes, something that we were supposed to be able to see from far away but never reach. And that's pretty much all that's here. But I have a couple of other areas that I want to show off as well. And before I leave here, so something I noticed when I actually went out of bounds, I came back and I saw that flying car there. I wasn't sure what it was, but I approached it, and you'll see what happens here. Turns out it's Militech. It's actually funny because I thought the enemies were inside of the vehicle at first, and you can see it explodes there, which I didn't realize at the time because I kept trying to destroy the vehicle, and I thought maybe that was just an explosion from some sort of weapon they were using, but I believe it was actually destroying the vehicle. It just didn't animate for some reason. You can see it's gonna take me a moment to figure out where the enemies actually are, which makes sense because as far as I know, you can't attack enemies when they're in these type of vehicles.
Neutralize him.
There they go, just kind of floating there. So I don't know if this is associated with this area, if this is something that's supposed to happen here. It just kind of happened randomly for me when I tried to go out of bounds, or I guess really back in bounds, and they just spawn there and begin their assault. So I don't know if it's really associated with the area or if this is just the game randomly spawning enemies. Which, to my knowledge, I know a lot of enemies around the map are scripted, but I know there should be some randomly spawning. I assume there are randomly spawning enemies. Here I am checking them for items, and that's a common glitch that we see there, not being able to loot certain items. Not sure why that is. Kind of makes you wonder. Maybe this is something associated with the area, and those items I can't loot off of them could be items that aren't in the game yet. Just some speculation, who knows. Now I'll try to interact with the ship here, or the car that they're flying, the vehicle. I don't know, I forgot the name of it. I scanned it before. I receive burn damage when I get on top of it, which actually, that makes sense. I can understand why that would happen. It's kind of like how a regular car is hot when you're using it. I imagine something like that would definitely be a lot more hot, or it could even be a defense mechanism. So this other area I'm going to show you is not too far. Well, it's kind of far, but it looks that way on the map, but it doesn't take too long to get to once you're over the boundaries. You just got to get over a really tall mountain. And I was just wandering through here, going along the borders, trying to see if I could find anything else. There's so much in this, like, just out of here in these out of bounds areas. And I stumbled upon this floating forest, it seems to be, and it doesn't really, fully render until you're up close to it. And here I'm gonna try to move around and give everybody a good view of it. And when you're not too close to it, it's fully 2D, or the parts of it that you can see anyway. And I don't actually know of too many forested areas in this game. I don't know of really any other than the park area in front of in city center, Corpo Plaza, and Arasaka's Boardroom, which I actually will go and compare it to later on in the video. But for now, I just want to give you guys a good look at what's going on here. It's just a bunch of trees, and I'm trying to actually slow down my jumping speed so we can get a good look at the type of trees that these are. See if maybe we can compare and contrast to other areas. Could just be like a test area. It doesn't... Nothing rings a bell to me when I see this area other than, again, Arasaka's boardroom. Here I'm just jumping around some more. And you can even land on the trees. You can't land on the ground. You'll just, as you saw, fall straight through. Here's just one last good look so you can get a good idea of the scale of it, because I wanted to compare it to, I actually wanted to go back to Arasaka's boardroom to compare it, which you'll see in just a moment. So take one good last look at it. Nothing much else is going on here. But it is really interesting. You just find it way out in the middle of nowhere. Kind of like that school. So here we are again. Oh, well, not again, but here I am again. And this is the Arasaka boardroom. It's the only place I could think of that had a, similar looking area where there were a bunch of trees like this. And I actually kind of like it because you really don't find too many areas like that in the game, except for that park. And even then, there's so many people around it. It's it's clearly a park. Whereas with this, you could look in a certain direction and a person wouldn't be able to tell you're inside of a building. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the video there. I have some footage here, just me looking around at the trees, trying to compare and contrast and see roads. It's actually making me laugh there. Kind of lost my focus. And you guys enjoy your holidays. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. And thanks again. See you all next year. Bye.